Hello, and welcome back to Whispers of the Moon. As Valentine's Day approaches, love fills the air, but so do secrets, curses, and ghosts from the past. Today we're diving into the darker side of Valentine's Day. I'm sharing 3 stories that blend romance with horror. So dim the lights, grab your favorite blanket, and prepare to be both touched and terrified by these haunting tales. First story.
In the waning light of an autumn dusk, Eleanor found herself drawn to the abandoned Ashford Manor, a relic of old wealth and whispered secrets, where fate would entwine her heart with a mystery as dark as the corridors within. Elena had long been haunted by dreams of a mysterious figure, a sorrowful spectre who lingered on the edge of her consciousness. Determined to unravel these visions, she set foot inside the crumbling mansion where every creak of the wooden floor and every chill wind whispered warnings. In a vast, dust-laden ballroom draped in cobwebs and memories, she encountered him, Julian, a ghostly presence bound to the manor for a love betrayed and a life ended too soon. Their first meeting was filled with an eerie intimacy. Julian's eyes, pale with otherworldly longing, met Eleanor's as if they shared an unspoken history. Night after night, beneath a silvered moon, Elena returned. In the silence of the night, he revealed the tragic tale of his past, a passionate romance that had been doomed by family feuds and betrayal. In his spectral voice, she heard echoes of the life he once had and the love he had lost. With each visit, the connection between them deepened, blossoming into a love that defied the boundaries between life and death. Yet as their love grew, so did the manor's dark power. The very walls seemed to conspire to keep them apart. Shadows in the corners twisted into sinister shapes, and whispering voices filled the empty halls, warning Elena that some hearts are not meant to cross the line between realms. Despite these ominous signs, Elena's determination to reclaim Julian's lost humanity only fueled the manor's wrath. One stormy night, as rain lashed against shattered stained glass and thunder roared like the cries of ancient souls, Elena discovered a secret hidden in the manor's library. Bound in the faded parchment was a ritual, one that promised to break the curse imprisoning Julian. Heart pounding with hope and trepidation, she prepared the incantation by candlelight, her trembling hands arranging the arcane symbols as the mansion groaned around her. As midnight approached, the ritual began. Eleanor recited the ancient words with fervor, and Julian's form flickered, his eyes shining with both hope and sorrow. For a moment it seemed that love had triumphed over the darkness. Julian's spirit gathered solidity, his form gaining a warm human glow. But then the manor itself rebelled. The very foundation of Ashford Manor shuddered violently, unleashing a torrent of malevolent energy that surged through every corridor and chamber. Julian, caught in the crossfire between love and ancient curse, cried out in anguish. With a desperate look, he reached for Eleanor, his hand passing through hers like mist. In that final moment, the spectral bond between them shattered as the overwhelming force tore Julian from the earthly plane. His ephemeral form dissolved into shards of sorrowful light that faded into the stormy night, leaving only echoes of a love that had defied death but was undone by it. Eleanor, standing amid the crumbling ruins of the manor, felt an emptiness that no warmth could fill. The haunting presence of their doomed love lingered long after Julian had vanished, a bittersweet reminder that sometimes even the strongest love cannot conquer the curses of the past. In the silence that followed, the mansion settled into eternal darkness, and Eleanor walked away with a heart forever scarred by a tragic love that had burned too brightly to last. And so the legend of Ashford Manor and the ghost of Julian became a whispered cautionary tale, a reminder that in the delicate dance between love and the supernatural, sometimes the cost is too high, and even the most passionate hearts must suffer the ultimate loss.
Second story.
In a small picturesque town steeped in old-world charm, the love between Isabella and Marcus was once the envy of all who witnessed it. Their romance blossomed under starlit skies, with secret meetings in hidden gardens and whispered promises exchanged behind ivy-clad walls. But as with many great loves, darkness lurked on the horizon. Enter Lucian, a man whose envy burned as fiercely as the love Isabella and Marcus shared. Lucian, a childhood friend of Isabella's, long harbored unspoken feelings for her. He had become a bitter rival of Marcus's, and as a result, estranged from Isabella. On one fateful Valentine's Day, when the town was aglow with celebration, Lucien had orchestrated a confrontation that would forever alter the course of destiny. He invited the couple to a secluded manor under the guise of a romantic surprise, a masquerade ball that he had also invited all of the town to, promising intrigue and delight. As the night unfolded, a tension grew palpable in the air. Whispers of discontent swirled around the ballroom, and an unsettling chill crept along the corridors. At the stroke of midnight, under the pretense of a dramatic toast, Lucien unveiled his true intentions. With a calculated flourish, he brandished a concealed dagger, its blade glinting ominously in the candlelight. Marcus, ever the protector, leapt to shield Isabella, but it was too late. In the ensuing struggle, the blade found its mark. Isabella's scream, a heart-wrenching blend of despair and fury, echoed through the night as she cradled his lifeless form. Amidst the pandemonium, Lucien vanished into the shadows, leaving behind only devastation and a trail of unanswered questions. From that tragic night, a legend was born, a spectral tale that has haunted the town for decades. It is said that every Valentine's Day, the spirit of Marcus rises from the abyss to search for his lost love. Locals claim to hear the soft strains of a melancholic violin played in the distance as if to guide his wandering soul. Witnesses speak in hushed tones of a forlorn figure dressed in a suit that once exuded confidence but now drips with the essence of mourning, his eyes fixed on a distant memory. Isabella, heartbroken beyond measure, is believed to have vanished into the mists of time, her fate forever entwined with the tragedy. Some say her spirit wanders the forgotten alleys of the town, clutching a tattered love letter, a relic filled with promises of eternal devotion that now serves as a symbol of her undying grief. The legend of Isabella and Marcus endures as a haunting reminder of the perils of envy and the devastating cost of love betrayed. It is a tale that warns of how the dark seeds of jealousy, when nurtured by a shattered soul, can lead to irreversible tragedy. Each Valentine's Day, as lovers celebrate their bonds, the town pauses to remember the night when passion turned deadly, and how love in its purest form can sometimes be the very force that condemns us to eternal lament.
Final story.
In a quiet, fog-shrouded town forgotten by time, there existed an antique shop with a dark secret, a secret bound in words of love and vengeance. This is the tale of the haunted love letter, a cursed relic that re-emerges every Valentine's Day, leaving a trail of terror in its wake. In the early 1900s, in a town much like this one, lived a passionate soul named Eleanor. She was deeply in love with a man whose promises melted into whispered lies. On Valentine's Day, after receiving a final, devastating betrayal, Eleanor penned a letter filled with both adoration and fury. Every word dripped with sorrow and rage, a promise that her love would endure beyond death, even if it had to be fueled by revenge. With a cruel twist of fate that very night, as lightning split the sky, Eleanor met a mysterious and untimely demise. Rumors spread like wildfire that her heart had been broken beyond repair, not by a man's indifference, but by a darker force, human cruelty. Her letter, carefully sealed and hidden within the walls of a now dilapidated mansion, was lost to time, until one stormy night, decades later, an antique shop owner rummaging through forgotten relics discovered the fragile parchment, its ink faded yet imbued with an eerie vibrancy. It was as if the paper itself whispered secrets of old. Against every instinct, the owner brought it back to his shop. There was something about the letter that was disturbing, always pulling at his mind. As midnight approached on that fateful Valentine's Day, the shop filled with an unearthly chill. A dense fog seeped through the cracks of the ancient building, carrying with it the scent of roses mixed with decay. Throughout the day, one by one, patrons began to experience unsettling phenomena. A young couple felt an oppressive presence as they brushed past the letter, their skin prickling as if touched by unseen fingers. An elderly man swore he heard soft, heart-wrenching sobs emanating from the very paper. One brave soul, determined to dispel the murmurs, snatched the letter from its display and attempted to destroy it in a fit of defiant courage. Yet as the flames licked the edges of the paper, the fire seemed to recoil, leaving the letter unscathed. Moments later, it reappeared on its pedestal, now stained with fresh crimson marks that resembled dried blood. The room pulsed with a sorrowful energy, as if Eleanor's despair had taken on a life of its own. The letter still sits in that shop until this day. Local law now insists that reading the letter condemns one to eternal torment. Those who have dared to read its contents report a lingering sensation of being watched, a presence that never fades, even in daylight. Whispers echo in their minds, promises of undying love that twist into warnings of a curse that binds hearts in eternal suffering. The haunted love letter remains an enigma, a relic of passion turned poison. As each Valentine's Day arrives, the phenomena occur again. Every year, the owners of the antique store are closed for Valentine's Day. No one will buy the letter, and throughout the rest of the year, it sits as a grim reminder that some loves and the curses they birth refuse to die.
And there you have it. 3 tales that remind us that Valentine's Day isn't always about romance and candlelight dinners. Sometimes it's about restless spirits, cursed objects, and tragic love stories that defy time and logic. These tales invite us to reflect on the bittersweet nature of our hearts. If you enjoyed these stories, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more eerie tales, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, remember, love isn't always gentle. Beware the allure of love, for its ghost may forever haunt the corridors of your heart.